Hey, hey, Voss. Hey, how are you today? So, our conversation today is all about how to survive and thrive. I'm going to talk to you specifically about certain types of products that you should be creating right now. Right now, we are in we're in some stuff, right? This is a crazy time. This is a chaotic time full of challenges and changes. And given what we're going through, not even just as a nation, but as a world, the globe, what we're going through everywhere, what I wanted to do is to create this opportunity for my fellow entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and small business owners to get clear about what you should be doing next to make sure that you are in a space where your businesses are sustained, where they're secure, so that you can survive and ultimately thrive, right? Given everything that's going on right now, some people are trying to figure out how they're going to get through this, how they're going to wait out the storm, get back to the norm of what they are used to, right? But we don't know. We're in a space and in a time of economic uncertainty. To be honest with you, we don't know if this is temporary or if this is the beginning of what is going to be our new reality, our new norm. So with that being said, as part of the week-long Maintain Your Momentum series, which essentially is hosted by myself and includes several amazing entrepreneurial women like myself who are right now wanting to encourage you to not get distracted. I know it's hard to say that because there's a lot going on, there's a lot happening, and you want to stay abreast, you want to know what's happening, right? But at the same time, you cannot get distracted because this is your opportunity to take advantage of the possibilities of what is happening next. Okay, the possibilities of where you can thrive and flourish next. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. By the way, before we get started, let me say this: the Maintain Your Momentum week-long series, it's live. It's starting today at noon. It's all week. I've got some great speakers, myself included. You can learn more about the lives and the replays over at CitizenStock.com/MYM. The new reduced rate registration options do end at the end of this day, but there are also going to be replays if you see this at a certain time and you go, man, I missed it. Okay, just wanted to say that. So make sure that you take note, CitizenStock.com/MYM, so that you can participate in the series. You can watch live, you can catch the replays, you can even share it with your friends as part of the affiliate partner program. Okay, so I've identified 7 types of products that you should be creating, right? Because to me, honestly, based on what I've been watching and seeing in the market, watching and seeing as far as big businesses and small businesses, there are 7 new target markets that I want you to consider. There are 7 types of offers that I want you to intentionally start to create products around. And I specifically am going to also be talking about 7 specific products that are a reflection of these types of products that I am going to be working on over the course of the next 30 to 60 days. So we have to act quickly. We have to act intentionally. We've got to be strategic. This is not a time for play. You cannot afford to be distracted. You cannot afford to be delayed if you want to ensure that your business is going to stay afloat, sustain, and power through. This is what you got to do. You got to get with it. Okay. So I've said a lot of that. Let me get to the meat and potatoes because you probably like, LaShonda, all right, what is it? Two particular target audiences, new markets that I want you to consider. Okay. This is 2 of the 7. Number 1, we have a new market. They've always been there, but they are quickly going to be growing. Okay. They are quickly going to be growing. And that is the market of the technology challenged. Okay. There are a lot of people out there who've always been technology challenged, but they've been able to kind of work past that because they live in a real world and they do all things real time directly in the real world offline. But the reality is is that right now, because of the global pandemic, because we're trying to find smart ways to, in this country, try to contain it before it gets crazy like it has in other locations across the globe, social distancing is becoming our new norm. People are being recommended to self-contain, stay home, and distance themselves from others so we can limit the spread of this virus. That being said, more people in the next coming days and weeks, and we don't know if months, right? We don't know how long this is going to last. We don't know where this is going to go, but more people are going to have to become more tech savvy. They're going to have to get better at working online. They're going to have to it's going to become more of a necessity to utilize technology, right? Especially for those who are going to be homebound for extended periods of time. There are people who already are homebound, locked down, not going anywhere. And there are some of us who are in spaces where it hasn't hit as hard yet, but we cannot let that be, oh yeah, this is my reality. It ain't gonna hit me, because that's what other people thought before it hit them. Which means that for those of us who are tech savvy, for those of us who are in a space where we live, breathe, and drink technology, this is an opportunity to help those who are technologically challenged. They're going to need you in a lot of different ways. And I'm going to talk about today in that as part of the Maintain Your Momentum, the first session, that's me, talking about those 7 types of products that you should be creating for 7 types of markets. One of those is the technology challenged people. That's a new market. And again, I'm not saying it's new like they haven't never been here before, because there's always been technically challenged people. But where honestly, a lot of these people are now being forced in situations where they can't just work around being and needing technology, right? They can't just do it anymore. They're going to be forced to have to depend upon it way more. And they're going to need people to help them get with it, figure it out, and get better at it, right? How can you help those people? Number 1. Number 2, the child care challenged. There are a lot of people who are going to be challenged with parents, myself included, but I'm not going to be as challenged as others, because I've been working at home for many years now. My son is going to be 14 this year. And since he's been about 6 months old, I've been working at home, right? But I'm used to that dynamic of him being at home with me and me teaching him and making sure that his days are not just sleeping or doing nothing. I'm used to that. That's me. That's not everybody. There are a lot of parents out there that are child care challenged. And that to me does not simply mean that they don't have anybody to take care of their kids. There are people who are like, okay, so can I drop them off at the teacher's house if I can't drop them off at the school? Like, what can I do right now? What am I going to do? Because 10 minutes from now, they're about to drive me crazy. Like, how am I supposed to navigate this? I got 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids, 5 kids. And, there are lots of different ways in which, sometimes we have to take things and laugh a little, right? You got to bring in the love and light. But at the same time, people genuinely are trying to figure out, okay, they say this is going to be maybe 2 weeks long. But first of all, what the hell am I going to do with these 2 weeks? But what if it's not 2 weeks long? What if it's longer than that, right? Right now in my location, while we haven't been really hit by everything yet, I was surprised to know that the public schools in my location are closing on Monday. I didn't think that was going to happen here. I know other people it's happening to them, but everywhere, schools are closing, right? Parents need to figure out a lot of things when it comes to their kids, not just what to do with them, but also thinking about, food situations, right? I'm in a situation where we're pretty much good. I mean, we've been able to get what we need, but there's still some aspects of cooking and supplies, and you take for granted if you know how to cook the other people who don't know how to cook, other people who they're dependent on their kids getting school lunches and being able to grab something and pick it up and take it home after school. And what do we do now, right? I actually read an article that said New York City more than likely is not going to close their schools because for a large population of the homeless kids, homeless students, the lunch that they get at school is the only food they get for the day. Okay? There are a lot of childcare challenges, right? That come along with right now that people need to think about, right? You see a need, fill a need, and you need to be able to identify the different types of markets, the different types of products, the different types of solutions that you can offer. Y'all can't just be sitting here being distracted by everything that you're seeing and hearing right now. As entrepreneurs, you need to be about your business. You can't quarantine your coins right now. You know what I'm saying? You need to be in a space where you are figuring out how to be innovative, how to be creative, how to set the stage and be on the what do they call it? Be at the forefront, right, of the new markets and the new offers that people need to start producing. You can't be playing catch up 3, 4, 5 months from now because we don't know what's coming. We don't know if this is temporary or the beginning of our new norm. Just laid it out there, right? So again, I've got 7 types that I'm going to share as part of Maintain Your Momentum live today. Also, the replays available over at CitizenStock.com/MYM, reduce rates, and today, okay, at 11:59 today, the day of me doing this particular web class, so I can share this with you. The first 2 of the 7 new markets that I need y'all to think about, and I'm going to dig into these more as part of the conversation today, is again, number 1, the technologically challenged. I don't know why I get tongue-tied on that one. And number 2, the childcare challenged, right? And there are a lot of different people that go into those sectors, okay? In some cases, honestly, they overlap, right? So for example, think about for the fact that there are going to be now people who know how to navigate teaching their kids at home or maintaining their kids at home, and other people who are like, I need teachers, I need tutors, I need people to, help me with my children. I need people to help me, keep them occupied during the day, which brings me to 2 of the 7 types of products that you guys need to consider producing. Do you currently have, or can you think about products that you can produce that are in 2 of these 7 categories? One of them is teachable. The other one is deliverables. Okay. Teachables and deliverables. Okay. So now the technology challenge, they're one of 7 markets, right? And a lot of these markets include people who are clueless as to what to do next, how to maintain, how to sustain, how to keep it all together, which means there are going to be a lot of people looking for teachable content. Information products has already been big. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get bigger, and not just simply general, but very, very targeted areas, very, very targeted markets of people who need you to teach them stuff. Like literally, one of the things that I'm going to be teaching as part of Maintain Your Momentum is how to get paid to teach, specifically how to host virtual sessions, virtual experiences. A lot more people need to do that from home, and a lot of people are clueless as where to start, right? That's just one example. Teachables, deliverables. There are a lot of people out there, to be honest with you, who live in the real world and love the real world because they have a lot of DFS, done for you services. A lot of people doing stuff for them that they don't have to do for themselves. But now they're in spaces where, again, social distancing, people are being told they need to self-contain, they need to stay home, which means they need you to do more stuff for them. Some of the stuff is technical stuff, and then there are other things that you could help them with, things that they need to do for their kids. Maybe, you can do for them virtually. I remember when my son was younger, he had a virtual tutor, and they used to FaceTime. So outside of school, he would do lessons with her. These are people who we need more of right now. Right? Deliverables, not even just that. People need you to ship them stuff to their homes because either they can't get them in the stores, supplies are low, or they don't want to leave or cannot leave their homes. You know, right now in most places in the States, we've got a lot more freedom and flexibility because in some spaces, like my place where I am, it hasn't necessarily hit us hard yet. But when you are on hardcore lockdown, you're going to need people to ship stuff and deliver stuff to you. So whether those be products, goods, or services, and perishables too, right? People need deliverables. What can you do? What can you offer in those areas? So I'm going to be talking about not only the 7 markets and the 7 types of products, but also 7 specific products that I'm personally working on over the course of this 30 to 60 day window so that I am staying positive, I'm staying prayerful, I'm staying productive and profitable, all things that I need you to do too. And one of those that I've been working on more and more over the last few years is digital templates. I'm going to talk about 7 specific ones, but digital templates for me, they're like the perfect combination of DIY teachables and DFY done for you deliverables, right? So people can both get pieces of content where some of it's done for them, but then pieces where they can customize it and do some of it for themselves, right? So templates are like one example of specific products I've been working on, like my new content creation kit over at CitizenStock.com/CCK, the content creation kit. That's a great example, right? It's hitting these markets, right? People looking for teachable content. I've got principles for entrepreneurs and business owners like myself, but I also have something called Bright Colors. It's a magazine and it's full of interactive content and it's full of things that people can use with their kids, right? So understanding these different markets and how you're going to reach and hit them, how you're going to either create products for them, or you've got products that you need to now figure out how to really tailor your marketing and your message so it hits them and it resonates with them based on where they are right now. Your marketing message has to clearly connect to what people are experiencing and feeling and going through right now. It's not just about, hey, do you need that? It's about making it a clear connection. Now, talk about that a little bit more as part of Maintain Your Momentum, but I wanted to, at the very least, kick off the conversation here so I could help you guys become more aware of the fact that, again, you cannot afford to be distracted in this season, right? Yesterday, I saw this really great tweetable, quotable, and I said, man, if this ain't true, it ain't true. It essentially said as follows, right? It says, tough situations don't last. Tough people do, which means that you got to be able to power through, baby, because this thing right here, it ain't going to last forever. We've seen these things come and we've seen them go. It is not going to last forever. But if you want to last forever, if you want to power through, if you want to have the kind of business that is not just going to survive this storm, but thrive in this storm, because guess what? There are a lot of businesses that they already struggling, they already closing. We've got this global recession that is knocking at our door. I ain't trying to let it in. I'm not about to let it in. I'm about to toughen up. You know what I'm saying? Right? But the question is not what I'm going to do, because I already know what I'm going to do. It's about you. Are you going to toughen up? Are you going to commit yourself to being focused, staying positive, productive, prayerful, and profitable, even in the midst of chaos, even in the midst of uncertainty, not knowing what's going to happen next, even in the midst of everybody else just kind of slowing down and just like, ooh, let me just kind of be quiet and scroll through social media and watch this and check that. Everybody's doing this. Ooh, Lord, what doing this and share that, read this and read that. And I'm not saying being aware is not a good thing. We do want to be aware, but at the same time, we do not want to get so deep down the rabbit hole that we put not only ourselves in quarantine, but our coins in quarantine too. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You cannot cut off your cash flow trying to be in the know and stay up on everything that everybody knows about this current situation. This too shall pass. You don't want to pass with it. Blink, blink. So that being said, y'all, I'm about to get ready for Maintain Your Momentum. We're going to kick off our lives today. And again, they're also replays. So if you go, man, I missed the lives, baby, just go over to CitizenStock.com/MYI. So that MYM, forgive me, CitizenStock.com/MYM for Maintain Your Momentum so that you can get the replays too. Okay. But again, I'm going to be honest with you, the reduced rate of the replays, that is ending today. The reduced rate options for registration to access the live and the replays, that's ending today. But the replays will be available because we are just starting the kickoff of sessions today. And this is going to be a week-long experience. Depending upon need, who knows, I may have to extend it longer than a week so that we can do new sessions and have new guest speakers. And I encourage you guys to let me know what you're thinking right now, what you're needing right now, so that I can really mobilize my ladies, my experts, my entrepreneurs who are innovators, who are thought leaders, who are very, very resourceful and committed to helping you do what you need to do to be resourceful and innovative too. Okay. So hopefully this particular session has been helpful to you. Feel free to let me know what you guys are thinking about. Like I said, today, we talked about 2 of the 7 markets, right? Those who are technology challenged and those who are childcare challenged in multiple levels. We also talked about 2 of the 7 types of products you need to consider creating, products that are teachable and products that are deliverable. And then I gave you 1 of 7 specific types of products that I am focused on and will continue to produce over the next 30 to 60 days to really hit the needs of special groups within my particular markets, and templates being one of them. I mean, don't just think about like digital entrepreneurial business minded templates. I mean, the term template can pretty much apply to any industry. Again, it's about your ability to think out of the box and be innovative, right? When it comes to both DIY and DFY solutions. Okay. So, all righty, my dears, let me go. The clock is ticking. We are going to get started at noon, and hopefully I get to see some of you guys inside of MYM Maintain Your Momentum. All right. So again, stay what? Stay positive, stay prayerful, stay productive, stay profitable. Maintain your momentum, y'all. Mwah.